Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
Well, I am so excited to be back in the kitchen today, and I'm joined by Chef Melinda. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be back.
Let's jump right on into it.
Wonderful.
What do you have for me today?
I have my best seller for you today. Even though with my layer cakes, the red velvet cake with cream cheese icing, it is the all-time best seller when I'm at shows. But for regular family events, it is the butter pound cake, the old-fashioned Southern butter pound cake.
I love a pound cake.
Yes, so I couldn't understand why I wouldn't be making very elaborate desserts, and people would be sitting there, you know, conversating, and then they would say, "What are you baking today?" And I'm like, "Just a vanilla pound cake." But that would be the sensation for them, is the smell of that butter pound cake, and bringing back old-fashioned memories, I think, is another reason why they just loved it.
It's just gorgeous.
So I made this last night, and I made sure that it was in servable sizes, so that it can hold whatever your topping is. So you don't want to cut it thin when you're going to put some really good stuff on it. So I'm going to serve up the first piece, and this is so versatile. You can serve it with any fruit topping that you would like, any ice cream, Cool Whip, but I'm going to do two things. I'm going to put fresh strawberries and some Cool Whip on them. So I'm going to take my little
We've got
utensils.
some cute tongs. Yes. We've got some cute little forks. She came prepared.
Love, love, love to serve, love to entertain. I think that's where my love of baking comes from, is loving to see the look on people's faces when they taste it for the first time. So here,
it's a love language, you know, like acts of service. I think that kind of falls into cooking.
It really does.
Maybe a little gifts too.
Yes, yes, these are perfect gifts. When I was a teenager and my budget was very limited, this was my best seller, was to put these in beautiful little cellophane bags and twist ties, you know, with whatever occasion it was, whether it was Valentine's Day or Christmas.
It's perfect for that.
Perfect. So as you can see,
those are some gorgeous.
Gorgeous. I was like, oh my goodness, this late in the season.
I know too.
Yes, I was so glad to be able to get these. So I'm going to put the
good.
first one together. We're going to get our Ready Whip together here.
Not sponsored, but sponsored by Ready Whip.
Yes. So normally I would make this homemade. My children have gotten so spoiled once I realized that you can make this homemade, and it's so much better.
Of course.
She's addicted to it, I must say. Any dessert that has the homemade whipped topping in it,
it's so good.
She's like, excuse me, may I have? Mom, please, can you save me some? So here is the very first bite for you.
Here's the verdict.
Yes. Wait to see what you think.
I want to get a little bit of everything in
have
this bite, so.
It's delicious. Even for breakfast.
That's money right there.
I'm just going to serve
You know how to make a pound cake, I'll tell you that.
Thank you so much.
My goodness.
Like I said, since I was 9, you know, just all of a sudden one day they asked me to make the family birthday cake from a box. And everybody would say, oh my gosh, this can't be from a box. Absolutely, it's not. And I was like, it is though. And they said, well, what's the secret? I'm like, I don't know. I just go by the box. But they were like, no, you're doing something different.
Yeah, you just have a gift, I guess.
It was just the gift coming forth.
Yeah.
And so from there, you know, just a little bit more. From there, of course, the question was, how are you going to start making homemade? And what are you going to make? And so that's where the challenges came in.
Oh, yeah.
So they just start challenging me, and I just kept going.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, today I am in the kitchen with Kima from Club Caked. How are you doing?
I'm actually really happy to be here.
I'm so excited for this. This is an LLC first. We are printing on food today. Who would have thought? Kima, tell me all about this. How did you discover that you could do this?
Well, before I was printing on food, I used to just print on paper and give it to people with the food.
Yeah.
And then I learned to do other edible images where you put the image on the food, and then I learned of the edible image printer. It prints directly on the food. And I'm like, it took some time, but now I feel like we started from the bottom, now we're here type of thing.
I love it.
Because it's actually really fun. It's fun to send people messages. It's fun to create different things, and it's really fun with food.
Yeah.
So there we go.
And we have a lot of different mediums to test out here.
Yes.
Everything from cookies to fruit to tortillas as well.
You could print on bread. I mean, really, if you wanted to be like bougie, you could print on pancakes and Pop-Tarts, things for your kids for breakfast. But you gotta make the pancakes and put it in here and print on it. So.
Imagine on a Saturday morning, you're slaving away, just putting images on the pancakes.
But yes,
Hey,
it's pretty
maybe for a
fun.
birthday. All right, let's give it a roll.
So
and show
what we're
people how
going to
this
do,
works.
we are going to print on, I have some different images that we would use throughout the year. So we're going to start with, actually one of my favorite images are for moms, because they're the ones who need an extra sweet treat. No offense to everyone else, but I'm a little biased.
Moms do.
So what I do is have images, whether I get them from Pinterest or the internet, or people send them to me. Sometimes people send me messages they have written themselves, and I could print it on a cookie, similar to a tattoo. And what I do is put it on the computer and tell the computer to send it to the printer. And here we go. We are going to start with our first image. And what it's doing is centering the image and seeing what the cookie is. And really, my kids love to operate the machine. They want to put the cookies in there. It's like to me, it's like a transformer. It's putting something in there.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
And then it's when I say,
Look at that.
Supermom.
Supermom.
So really, again, these are
Very
just
cute.
fun things. But let's go on to our next image. And like I said, I printed a few for all year, and they are a little out of order of the dates, but we're gonna put our cookie in there and tell the printer to send this.
So we were talking about this earlier, but this is a white chocolate base.
Yes, so I print on chocolate. It's easier for people to do at home. Seriously, even though everyone have an Eddie, we still have images that people can use, or we bring our Eddie to others. But it's for people who, and this is
Crisp. It comes out way crisper than I anticipated, honestly.
it's easier to use the Royal icing, which is still one of my all-time favorites because it has different properties. But it dries faster. And again, I'm a mom and I have small children, so sometimes we have to do things in a quick hurry.
Yeah, you do.
And chocolate is one of those things where it doesn't take a lot of manipulation.
And it tastes great. Yeah.
That really is sealing the deal there. So we are making different cookies for all year, and it doesn't have to be an occasion. It could seriously be just, I was just thinking about you, or get well, things that you want to send to people to let them know.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Ultimate California Pizza.
Stephanie Burdick, you are the lead counselor at Myrtle Beach High, right?
I am, yes.
Okay, well, you are our Crystal Apple Award winner.
Thank you. They told me and I was so excited, and I'm shocked and excited.
It's very well deserved. I've been reading a little bit about you, and you are a counselor, which is the first time we've ever had a counselor win this award, so that's really fun. Did you always know that you wanted to go into counseling?
I did. Mental health has always been a passion of mine, and so anything that has to do with mental health, and then I really like the adolescent population too, so it seemed to be a perfect fit.
Yeah, well, tell me about yourself. Where are you from? Where are you now? What do you like to do?
I grew up in Andrews, which is Georgetown County, so I'm not from very far. I went to the University of South Carolina, and I ended up staying there for about exactly. I stayed there because I wasn't really done with Columbia, so I stayed an additional 6 years and worked in schools up there. And then I moved back down here to be a little closer to family, and because Columbia got hot, and so I moved down here closer to be with family. But I worked at Aner High School for 7 years and really enjoyed that. But just the drive, trying to do something different. And I came to Myrtle Beach High School in 2011 and fell in love with Myrtle Beach High School.
Is there anything else that you think people need to know about you or about what you do?
Just know that the counselors are there, and know that your student has an advocate here, and don't hesitate to reach out to the counselors. A lot of parents forget that we're here. We do every year we do what we call an individual graduation plan with students. We invite the parents, and we see parent involvement, not as many coming in. We still see a good bit of parent involvement, but we'd love to see you in the schools. So don't hesitate to come in and meet with your school's counselor. So.
This portion of Living Local Carolina was sponsored by Ultimate California Pizza.
Well, thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina, everyone. I have my friend Lion Flood back in the studio today. Thanks for coming back on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. That's appreciative.
Oh, I love seeing you. I love seeing you do your little tricks, up close magic.
Yes.
That's your thing?
It is. I just want to make sure people understand it's about them, not the magic.
Yeah. What trick you got for us today?
Influence is one of the things that I've been working on. So I want you to do me a favor. Take the die. All I want you to do, Katie, is think of a number between 1 and 6. I'm going to turn my head so I cannot see and give you any kind of influence. The number you're thinking of, have it with your palm, the number up, and cover it up with your palm. Do that now for me,
with
please.
The die?
Yes, have the number you're thinking of, palm face up, and cover it up with your palm. Let me know once you're done.
Okay.
Give me no clue as to what it is. You got it?
Got it.
All right, perfect. I'm going to turn around. I can't see it, right?
You can't see
All right, perfect. Just think of the die, your number in your eye. Look at me in the eye. It's 3.
How did you know?
Oh, my goodness. How did I know? It's a question, right?
I love it.
It is 3. Look at that.
The proof is in the pudding, folks. It was a 3.
Yes.
I love it. So we were just talking close-up magic.
Yes.
You have all these little things that you can do where people can feel involved, and
Absolutely.
you can take their own rings and stuff. So
Yeah.
he's not just bringing his own props all the time, folks.
Yeah.
Where can people come and see you?
Make sure you call the Asher Theater and get there early because tickets have been selling out fast. But the Asher Theater is the main place that people can see me right now. 4 p.m. currently on Saturday, matinee show. Family, 13 and older for kids, we suggest just because the magic's a little sophisticated and we want them to have fun. But one of the best things I always say is catch me if you can. That's my moniker. And it's the Tides of Magic, Myrtle Beach's premier solo parlor magic show. Catch me if you can.
Catch me if you can. Love
Ooh,
it.
I
Lion
like that.
Flood. So great to see you, and thanks for coming back on the show.
Yes, thank you guys for having me.
Of course.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Great to be here with you today and share something that is very important to us, and that's Project Golf. I'm Gary Shaw, and I want to share with you some enthusiasm I've got for the program since I was here with it when it started in 2018. We were a nonprofit given birth by our parent company, Golf Tourism Solutions, which has been driving golf in Myrtle Beach for 5 or 6 decades. And they looked up a couple years ago and said, we are bringing a lot of people into Myrtle Beach. We call ourselves the golf capital of the world. From the Rust Belt all the way up into New England, out west, people are coming to Myrtle Beach. But they said, just a minute, we've kind of ignored this exploding metropolis of Myrtle Beach of residents, locals. So they said, why don't we let's find somebody that can run this nonprofit. We want to bring the game to our disabled veterans, our underserved youth, and the beginners. So we'll grow the game, and we'll take the game to these golfers. We'll try to remove barriers that are in the way of their playing, and the biggest one was access and instruction. So we started with our beginners, and then we morphed into working with a disabled veteran under a program subsidized by the PGA of America called PGA Hope. HOPE is an acronym standing for Helping Our Patriots Everywhere. I was asked to start it up because I somewhat fit the mold. I'm a veteran and a PGA member, and I served as the PGA's president for a term back in the 90s. So we got started off, and we found out the VA was very cooperative. They were pipelining all the veterans to us, and in no time at all, our classes became full. We can teach about 20, 22 veterans at a time, men and women, all with disabilities, some passive, some very visible. And we feel like we're doing some good, and we're getting these veterans back into society, and they're doing a good job of engaging with other veterans to play golf. And we're finding the same thing with the beginners. And we haven't quite developed a full-fledged junior program, but we know that's going to be the case, where we'll remove barriers to their getting into the game. And the PGA told us when we started PGA Hope, if you're anything like the other chapters around the country, you're going to save lives. And I thought to myself, as the executive director, that's a bit of a stretch. How do you save lives through golf? And after these 5 years now, Angel and I will agree that we are saving lives. We hear it from the veterans, we hear it from the veteran spouse, and we hear it from the veteran's family. So it's a great program. They're telling us how much at the end of the classes when they graduate after 6 weeks, what value it has to them, and that value is engagement with family and community. So we feel real good about it. And I would throw in on the statistics, the metrics from the PGA of America is that there are about 160 chapters in the country, and the Carolinas leads the country in registrations and graduations, and Myrtle Beach leads the Carolinas. So we're real happy about the visibility we've received. And as a nonprofit, of course, our goal is to seek funding. So that's our next real initiative, is to turn up the heat on getting donations.
So as Gary was saying, the impact that we're making on our community is huge. We're creating a community of golfers, and our golfers are overcoming obstacles, improving their social, mental, and physical well-being. You know, with 22 veterans committing suicide each day, golf has changed their life, and in some cases, it's saved their lives. You know, some of them struggle 7 days a week, but for those 2 hours a day, they're coming out here and they're not thinking about those struggles. And because we're helping them with their abilities, and they're forgetting about their disabilities. And so if you guys would like to help us, please visit us at projectgolf.org and learn a little bit more about what we do and how you can support.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.